Bonjour mon petit chifleur, Amber here, and I never really intro my bullet journal videos, but I figured today is a special one, so I would sit down and let you know what's going on. Today, what you're about to watch is a flip through of my 2020 bullet journal as I prepare to set up my 2021 bullet journal. Just a recap of my reading year. Also, there's a voiceover involved, and did I film this video solely so I could play with my new microphone? Yeah. But if we like the voiceover, let me know and it might stick around. So finding the right angle to film this in was the absolute struggle of my lifetime. That's an exaggeration, but still. I always said I was going to come back to the title page and fill it in, and I never did, so please disregard me. First and foremost, we have my 2020 at a glance. I thought I'd be using that more with like release dates and events and stuff, but Miss Rona said no. After that, we have my books read in 2020. I'm actually so proud that I actually filled it out and completed my reading goal of the year. So next we have my 20 books to be read in 2020. And I've read, of those books, I read 7, but some of them are some of the best books I've ever read, like An Ember in the Ashes, Soul of the Sword, City of Brass, etc. And then we have my 2020 anticipated releases. This page is a little bit messier thanks to that little splotch of whiteout. And then on the next page is my 2020 goals list, my videos to be filmed in 2020. I think I did like one of those. And then my social media growth trackers. Hopefully in 2021 I will be able to complete more of the goals I set up for myself. Oh god, this page is embarrassing. My books hauled page, especially in comparison to my books unhauled page. I really want to work on unhauling more in the new year. So now we have my favorite books of every month, which is a spread I really do enjoy doing, keeping track of all the best books I've read. The entire Ember series could have been included, but somehow I thought not including A Torch Against the Night would be like sparing myself from embarrassing myself. Be real. So next we have my readathon tracker. As we saw on my goals page, one of my goals was to take part in more readathons. And now we move on to January with the quote, "Among the whispering champagne and the stars." Really going with that Roaring 20s theme, gold, everything. At the beginning of the year, I was tracking my books hauled more in a chart format. We're going to see when I switch that up. We have my favorite book of the month, which was obviously Get a Life, Chloe Brown. So February, Black History Month, Blackathon, etc. We see a running theme. All of the stickers that I use are from Melon Eclectic. I really loved my this spread with my bamboo hoop earrings. I was really proud of myself. So for my YouTube and Bookstagram trackers, I really wanted to pay tribute to some Black women that really inspire me. So then we have my spread for Blackathon itself. I really went with the Black Panther theme. I actually taught myself how to write in the font that's used in the movie. Once again, these stickers were from Melon and Eclectic. And then we have the quotes page again. You have like, "Fighting for yourself is another way of loving yourself," from The Weight of the Stars. "Power has always inspired fear," from The River of Royal Blood. And quite obviously my favorite read of February was Monday's Not Coming. So we move on to March, and my theme for March was Sailor Moon. We have Luna and Artemis for my March releases, and March TBR page spread. Once again, these stickers are from Melanin Eclectic, the Sailor Melanin Moon stickers. And then for books hauled and unhauled, we have Sailor Moon's big ol' head again. I really wanted to pay tribute to my favorite Sailor Scout, Sailor Jupiter. So that's what I did for my Days Read and Books Read spread. And my favorite book that I read in March was The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. I still really need to read The Damned. The theme for April was travel, because in April my mom and I were supposed to go back to Vancouver, but that's when lockdown really started. So because I couldn't travel and that's all I really wanted to do in April, we get this. We have a little windmill in honor of like the Netherlands, because Amsterdam's one of my favorite places in the world. Also, I hit 500 subscribers in April. We have quotes like, "Eventually the waves have to go back out into the ocean because they can't stay trapped in the same pattern, lapping into the same shores forever," from Redemption Prep. And then we have my favorite book of the month on this cute little postcard, which was Wild Savage Stars by Christina Perez, which I haven't shut up about. And it actually wrecked me so much that I dedicated an entire spread. I want to do that more in my journal this year. So for May, we went with a very like Asian themed spread because Asian Readathon is also in May, and I just recreated the logo, for Asian Readathon. As you can see in my Instagram and YouTube tracker, I don't eat sushi because I colored the rice green. I love that for me. I really do love this lantern spread though for books hauled and unhauled. And then more lanterns for my quotes page. "All the beauty of the stars means nothing when life here on earth is so ugly, from an ember in the ashes," which was one of my favorite books read of the month. That and Soul of the Sword by Julie Kagawa, on this cute little origami swan. Now, this opening page for June got a little messy, but this is one of my favorite things I've ever done. Obviously June is Pride Month, and I worked really hard on little me in the corner. I really tried to incorporate as many pride flags as possible into all of my spreads for June. And I gained an additional 200 subscribers in June because that was when everything that could go wrong this summer was going wrong this summer. We have quotes like, "My brown fades into his," which is, I just really loved that line and the way it was delivered in full disclosure. My favorite book that I read in June was Anger is a Gift by Marco Shiro. My theme for July was coffee. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, and I had so much fun doing this. Stamping the coffee was actually I just loved it so much, even though this setup took the longest to do because I had to wait for all of the coffee to dry on each individual spread. This was the month I started counting my pages read as well as days read, and this was also the month that I started incorporating the covers of the books instead of just writing them down for my books read. So I read two absolutely incredible books in, what month is this? July. Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert, and The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. So going into August was the Disney-a-thon. I was Team Hercules, so we have a very ancient Greece-inspired month. I actually really loved this month because every page I like alternate between like a drawing, an ancient Greece-inspired drawing, or like a picture from Hercules itself. We have like little baby Hercules and Pegasus. This was always one of my favorite scenes when I was little. And I'm actually really proud of this drawing of Meg. August was the month I finally continued with the Ember Quartet. At the time it was still a trilogy. And also the month that I finished reading the Shadow of the Fox books. Ugh, my heart. So for the quotes page, we have, so long as you fight the darkness, you stand in the light, from a torch against the night. Water is unstoppable, eternal, it always returns, from the Kingdom of Copper. And then we have the Muses, of course, on the favorite book of August page. I still think it's a sin that my least favorite month in this whole book is my birth month, but what are you gonna do? September is, you know, Virgo season. It was also Monster-a-thon and Yonsei-a-thon, which is why the Queen Blue Ivy is featured in here. For my books hauled and unhauled page and my days read and pages read, I drew this like maiden woman, because that's like what the Virgo is, the virgin, the maiden. We have a lot of amazing quotes in September. My favorite is, curse this world for what it does to the mothers, for what it does to the daughters. Curse it for making us strong through loss and pain. Our hearts torn from our chests again and again. Curse it for forcing us to endure, from a reaper at the gates. So going from my least favorite month in this whole book to my favorite favorite month of this whole book, October. Spooky season. Love this so much. Hocus Pocus readathon. This is like the only spread that I didn't like at all for October. This, however, is my favorite drawing in this whole setup. This levitating witch. I had such a good reading month in October, which means there are a lot of good quotes in October. When a person brings you more hurt than happiness, you're allowed to let them go. You do not have to follow them into the dark, which is from Blood and Honey. Oh, this one. Madness, hate, insecurity, tradition, the American dream, which is from Clown in a Cornfield. But I was supposed to do a full spread to celebrate completing my Goodreads reading goal. I just never went around to finish. I never got around to finishing it. If you know me, if you've been here, you know November is Hunger Games month, so of course I'm going to do a Hunger Games Bujo spread. I don't love this drawing of Katniss in her fire dress, but I also love this drawing of Katniss in her fire dress. Of course, I'm going to dedicate a spread to my boy Finnick Odair and his sugar cubes. Books hauled and unhauled is dedicated to PETA, obviously. And this book drawing is my favorite thing in this whole setup. It's inspired by the herb book, the plant book. So I have this page, which is like a tribute to Rue also. I could include almost every memorable quote from the Hunger Games series in here. But aside from that, we also have People Hurt Things That Frighten Them from Lotsoy. Last but not least, we have December. I love snow globes, so I had to incorporate them into this. I love these cookies. I love how they turned out. I'm so impressed with this whole December setup. But I will say that the Pages Read is my favorite and the thing I'm most proud of, this mistletoe. Yay me. Not to sound conceited or anything. And, ooh, my voice still shakes every time I mention it. December was when I read A Sky Beyond the Storm and finished the Ember Quartet, and I'm still a little heartbroken about it. Another good reading month means another batch of quality quotes. One of my favorite quotes in the whole Ember series: "You were broken, but it is the broken things that are the sharpest, the deadliest. It is the broken things that are the most unexpected and the most underestimated." Just like Wild Savage Stars, I wanted to dedicate an entire spread to A Sky Beyond the Storm because I couldn't stop thinking about it, but I had already, you know, put something where it would have gone, so I put it in my actual, like, regular journal. And then to close this out, we have my best reads of 2020 list and my worst reads of 2020 list. You will have already seen these videos, hopefully, as well as my 2021 anticipated releases and 2021 TBR. And then the last few things I have in here, as you will have seen, one of my goals was to read more adult books, so I have this cute little list of adult books that I read, as well as my little list of romance books that I read in 2021. That is my 2020 bullet journal. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you like me, feel free to subscribe. All my places are down there, so you can follow me and I'll follow you back, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.